Good as a calm and welcome to episode 31 of the Triple Trouble podcast and Bloodstorm. Do you mind?
Take the blame, Fox. No.
No. Welcome everyone to episode 31 of the Triple Trouble podcast. Welcome Foxy here, welcome Bloodstorm. Bloodstorm, you absolute gaybo.
You're welcome.
It's been a while for us. It's been about 2 weeks since the last video. Well, the last podcast. Since we recorded it anyway. So it's been a while. No, it's actually been 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. So
It's only been a week and a bit.
no, it's been 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks, and I know that's probably like our longest gap. And for once, it wasn't any of our fault. It was Minecraft. It was Minecraft being gay. But this is our very late Halloween special as well. Sorry about it's been a little bit late. Yeah, slash bonfire night. Minecraft was playing up for mainly Fox, but yeah, he had a bunch of issues getting it sorted. But yeah, we're all back. We're back to normal, and yeah, Halloween special is now. But before I tell you all what we're going to be doing for that, Foxy Bloodstorm, what have you been up to?
I have had a very... Well, actually, yes, I have. I've done 2 Terraria videos.
With Nobbo.
Progress has been quick compared to mine and Bloodstorm's progress.
You wouldn't say why.
Well, at the moment it's Halloween in Terraria, so there's pumpkins everywhere. So we've got a massive pumpkin house.
Pumpkin!
I've also built a wizard's tower.
Yeah.
For no good reason, apart from that I wanted to.
Fair enough.
We've decided that we're going to build the boss house. We're going to do the Ice Cthulhu, and we're going to make him being tickled.
Tickle your balls.
What?
Lovely jubbly.
That was fun. And then also, I went to Alton Towers last week.
Ooh. Well, that's right, we don't already know, but...
I didn't say anything about Alton Towers on purpose, because we were meant to do the podcast last week and never happened, so I've been waiting a whole week to tell you.
Yeah, thanks Minecraft.
Yeah, so we went for the Either Scarefest in October.
Oh yeah.
So we went for that.
How was it?
It was good. So my only gripe is that basically when you pay to go to Alton Towers, you pay for all of the rides and attractions, but they do open some spooky ones for Halloween, but you don't pay for those when you book to go. So if you want to go on those attractions, you have to pay for them separately.
Oh, that's a bit weird.
£16 per person.
The fuck? Bloody hell.
We went on one ride. The first ride was an absolute ugh. It was good, but the problem is we were in the queue, and then someone thought it would be a great idea to bring some of their valuables on the ride. The ride actually shut down whilst they retrieved the lost items.
Oh, bloody hell. Fucking hell. It's always want to ruin it for the rest.
Yeah, we're good. And then we went in, so they've got 3 scare mazes.
Ooh.
And we went in one of them, and never again.
Why?
It was terrifying. So when we booked it, you have to pick a time, and you have to be there on the time, otherwise you don't get in.
Yeah.
So we booked it, we went, and then as soon as we got into the line ready to go in, the guy was like, right, just to let you all know, you are going to be split up.
Oh.
Right. He went, also, there are actors inside of the venue that are allowed to touch you, but you're not allowed to touch them, and you're not allowed to run away from them.
The fuck? Pervert.
Okay, so thank you for just taking my consent and telling me that other people can touch me, but I can't touch them.
Yeah, what the... Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
I know, yeah.
Tickle your balls.
So, if you want to leave, go now. And I think everyone didn't want to go because of the fact that I paid £16 per person to go on this attraction. So everyone was didn't want to do it, but at the same time, no, they did because I paid for it.
How many were there?
There was about 4 of us.
4? Okay.
So we went in, and they were they're all actors in there. So they've got people being security guards, but let's just say they're very rude. We literally went in, they were like, right, you there. I was like, okay.
Oh, you're odd. You. Fuck off.
Yeah. And then, so they separated us all off. I ended up being like with two women, random women who I didn't know. And they lock you in like a pod, and like in like a big circle. Then they play a video of like, you know, just to like build up some of the drama, the attention, give the backstory. And then they open all the doors, and then as soon as we went in, basically, like you all regroup for a second, and then the security guard actors kind of like separate you off into like different rooms. So like first one we go to, there was like a zombie chasing me. I thought, Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
And then there was like just loads of just like random rooms. Like everyone, see the thing is, because you all split up, there were probably some rooms that some people had which I didn't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so, like, then there was a weird room where it's like they had like a big bridge with like over a lake of like I think it was acid, and like they just had like a bloke walking across the bridge, and I was like, okay, I clearly need to cross this bridge, but there's a troll not under the bridge but on it.
Oh
And
God.
I thought, I'm gonna have to walk past him, so I literally like power walked across and like tried to get past him, and he just grabbed me.
Oh God.
And he was like, can you smell all the blood on the floor? There's a vile smell. I went, oh, I thought that was me.
But yeah, it's your breath, lad.
I beg your pardon.
No, what about the troll?
But the thing is that the actors, like, they're meant to scare you, but they also kind of direct you as well, to kind of show you the way that you need to go. So the way that they stand and stuff kind of means that you'll go in the opposite direction so you don't get lost.
Oh yeah.
And then the final room was appalling. So after my interaction with this bloke on the bridge, he put me into like a room in a corridor, and I could just see flashing lights going rapidly. And I thought, okay, I see what's going on here. And so I walked down this corridor, and over all the doors they've got like rubber strips hanging down that you push through to go through. And like I literally just bobbed my head through those, and through the door there was just like flashing lights, and there was someone dressed as a mummy, someone dressed as a skeleton, someone dressed as a zombie, all just looking at me. And
Oh no.
moving closer.
Oh hell no.
Flickering, and I just went, no. I just put my head back through, and I just sat in the corridor like a little pussy. I thought, I'm not going through there. I thought, I'm going to wait for someone else to come through, and we're going to go in together.
Yeah.
Luckily, one of the people I went with came through. I was like, I am not going in there by myself. And so I was like, now I've got someone, we'll go through. So we went through, and all the actors were gone. And I thought, right, where have they all gone?
Where the fuck?
Not here.
Where have they gone?
And so we ended up. So we walked through. I literally was like power walking through. Then they had like people with like electric sticks and all sorts, just like chasing us and stuff. It was vile.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we were like, no, thank you. But I thought my experience was bad. One of the people I went with was absolutely terrifying, to the point where they were literally walking around the entire thing crying.
Oh no.
And
Bless him.
literally, like they went to like one room, and they accidentally went behind the props, and they were just sat behind the props, just like terrified. And the actors kind of like were kept in role, but kind of like helped them, guide them.
Yeah.
And then there was another part where like they were chasing her, and she just like tried to exit through the fire exit. and they were like, no, don't go there. And then
Oh my God.
I think she literally ran the entire thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, like she was terrified.
I don't blame her, to be honest.
At the end.
That sounds terrifying. I don't blame her.
But overall, it was good because it closes late as well. It closes at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So like by the time you get to the end, like most people are on some of the bigger rides. So like most of them are pretty empty, so you can just walk on them.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
But I wouldn't do one of the mazes again.
No. No. I refuse.
One year we should all go, and I will drag you into one one of those mazes,
Piss.
you can see what I had to deal with.
I mean, I could probably imagine it, to be honest.
The thing is it wasn't bad. I just don't like being chased.
No.
I like being chased. It's never been something like if someone chases me, I don't like it. So the fact that like these people are just like chasing, and I wasn't supposed to run, but I did. I was like, I'm not staying in this room. I was like proper mad, but I thought I've got to carry on because I paid £16 here for me to enter.
I mean, that's one motivator to get through it. I paid 16 quid.
In a way, that's why they make you pay extra. So that way then, you think I've spent money on this, I'm not wasting this opportunity.
I'm not going anywhere.
After that, then. That'd be brilliant.
And
No, it was good, I'd recommend it. But yes, how was your week?
Bottom, do you want to go first?
Well, we did Callum Nation Street today. We kicked Callum out of it.
Yep.
Yes, we did. Callum joined the call and they went, no, Callum bye, and then kicked him.
I joined a bit early because they did Calnation Street before we started recording this episode, and I showed up a bit early, so I didn't know they hadn't finished yet. Say, oopsie.
Dave being in the call might have been an indication.
Yeah, I only
Callum, keep an eye out.
no, I only just saw you at Bloodstorm. I forgot I didn't even look at Dave.
Wow.
Poor Dave. Hashtag we love
We were
Dave.
just getting to a really good part as well, and then Callum joined. I was like, no, Callum, go, and I was getting really into the role.
Piss off.
Choice.
I think, because like people would have already seen it by now.
Yeah,
Like, that would have been the last week.
yeah.
Everyone already knows what happens in Callum Nation.
But-
So let's just say one of the characters, and you can all probably work out which one. I got very invested in.
Yeah, I still don't know. Like, obviously, because of Minecraft playing up recently, like I've mentioned earlier, they we couldn't get Coronation. Well, they couldn't get Coronation Street finished quick enough because Foxy had trouble loading the game. So, yeah, we've had loads of problems with that. So that's why Coronation Street's out a bit later. But I did do a community post explaining what was going on. So,
Because Minecraft went down.
yeah.
In like the start of last week, and it didn't come back up until the end. Basically, because they released an update, which
Fucked over Windows 10.
the way the game runs, it's now a separate app rather than just like part of the launcher and stuff on PC. So when loading the game, it kind of downloads the entire game from the start, which it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
But luckily, it's got fixed. So well, it hasn't been fixed, but it's fixed for me enough to be able to play.
Yeah, it's getting
There's a few
there.
problems with the update though. For about the 50 millionth time this year, they broke ray tracing again, which I'm a bit mad because none of the torches are admitting any light at all, which means that like most of my world is now incredibly dark, and yeah, it's just not very good.
No. Well, at least it's joinable now. At least that's the good thing. Anyway, but what have you been up to anyway, Putstall?
Let's also be. Oh, winner. Me and EJ have done another adventure map.
Oh yeah.
First one.
Ooh.
Sword of Alcatraz, I think is what it's called.
Alcatraz.
It's something, but it sounds like Alcatraz. I don't know what it is.
We'll just call it Alcatraz for now and then whenever it comes out.
That's a prison.
I don't know.
It's a prison in America, the same
Oh, of course.
San Andreas or some shit.
Of course.
The Golden Gate Bridge.
Lovely jubbly. Anything else?
Helped Gaps with a Christmas special.
Oh yeah. Gapsy Wapsy.
Halloween's gone on. We can talk about some of the Halloween episodes that went out a bit later once Callum's done his task.
Oh yeah.
You were past Callum. Wait, hang on. What's your... Oh, well, yeah, no, I remember what we're doing now.
Yeah. I'm reading stories to you both.
I know you played a map about finding Nemo, but you don't literally need to turn into Dory with a short-term memory.
That's the after effect of playing the map. You get to do.
That's actually a very sad film, side rant. Finding Dory is a very sad film. It's a good film, but it's very sad.
Yeah, for a kids film.
Their parents like dead or something.
Well, no, like, because they end up like, a bit like what happens with you and your dad's Bloodstorm. Dory ends up like wandering off, and then because they've got short-term memory loss, they can't remember where their home is.
What a retard.
Is that why Bloodstorm's an orphan?
Exactly. Well, no, because he's found his father now.
Oh yeah, David.
What doesn't make sense in that movie is that they fuck a fish drive a van and crash it into the water.
Jesus.
But then again, it is a cartoon.
Yeah, it doesn't have to make too much sense.
More in depth about it, probably not. But I want
In depth like the water.
Hey ho. It don't matter. Cartoon.
Well, I'm gonna build, since this is our Halloween / Bonfire Night special, I'm gonna build a spooky game.
Lovely. A quick.
I could build a maze.
Oh God. I dare you to actually do that. That'll be funny.
How would I do it though? Like, I could have creatures and stuff, but they're not gonna find me.
I'll quickly gloss over my week.
I've got an idea. I've just come up with something. Okay, I know what I'm doing.
I'll quickly cross over what I've done the last few weeks. I've started recording a new series in my Epic World yesterday and a bit of today actually.
Yeah, and very, very, whoever won that game, it was a tough fight. It was a tough fight, but overall, there could only be one winner.
I mean, you can probably tell who joined for that one.
Winner takes all. Winner takes all.
Winner takes it all.
I don't think it was anything to do with luck. I think it's just pure skill. I think. It's
Yeah.
And I think whoever did it is so talented. It wasn't even a competition. It wasn't even a competition. It just, yeah. It was.
Anyone watching at home, I wonder if you can guess who won. Yeah, it was quite close, but that'll be out very soon, I think. But yeah, I've recorded 2 episodes of that series. One last night, like we mentioned, and one today, like a couple hours ago. Well, not as lot, but me, EJ, and David. Yeah, that'll be out soon. We record. No, we'll get to that at some point. Okay, I heard you.
Remember, it did take a while to play it last time.
Yeah. Oh God.
But then again, we added in some more. So dark this world. Mojo, fix ray tracing. But yeah, like I feel like we did add in some more things to speed it up. So hopefully we'll be quicker.
Yeah. Me and Bloodstorm recorded part 2 to our Roblox horror mini-series thing.
Oh yeah, that as well.
And it gave Bloodstorm nightmares. I mean, you understand why when that comes out.
That could be a scary story, I tell it.
What, so big black guy?
Yeah, big black guy crawling on the wall.
Well, I've been at work, and I've been started going to. I got an actual free gym membership. I won a free gym membership a few weeks ago. I think it's last week. Yeah, right.
Paying for his membership.
And it's going well. Yeah, it's not much to complain. I try to go as early as I can, just so I can actually get on the stuff. Like, if I don't have time to, like, say if I'm at work, for example, I just train at home. But if I come on a day off or something, I'll just go to the gym. Like, I've got like a good balance between the two. Like, it's not like. Yeah. So I can train at home if say if it's too late, for example, like past like 3:30, 4 o'clock, then I'd be like, okay, I could just train at home. But if it's like in the morning or something, I'll be like, oh, I can just go to the gym. So it's like win-win. Yeah. So that's good, and that's pretty much my week. So there we go.
Very interesting.
I think that took us less time than usual when we just talk about our week, like our previous week. We've had to cover 2 weeks worth of content, but the main event. So I mentioned last episode, that I'll be reading some scary stories to Foxy and Bloodstorm, and those stories are yes, I won't be moving much, so I'll just be standing here in front of Callum's birth. What the fuck? You cheeky fucker. I'll be just standing here watching these lot build, just so you have something to watch. I think this one's gonna be a good one that you'll be listening to. I don't know if anyone does watch the footage, but I think this one will be a good one to just listen to.
They do when it's my week. Callum Nation's stream.
I think that's the only exception.
I love how like it's a podcast, and like whenever I
It's an Easter egg.
Random things on the screen. I've got a whole soap opera. You know, it's going well. It's, you know,
Isn't
kind of making the story's building now, and I feel like episode 3 will give you a bit of an indication. It's going to be so. It's my favourite. One of the characters, one I've got invested in, I just think is just comically very, very, very funny. Not because of the fact that, like, I think it's a funny character. Sorry, we will do your stories, but I need to have a rant about this because I'm so happy with this character.
you've got a minute?
More the fact that, basically, like, I just think that, like, the whole idea of the character is just quite funny. More that was last week or next week for Callan. So yeah. We're doing a podcast where you haven't even seen it yet.
I know. I'm in the loop at the moment as we're recording this. Everybody knows. So yeah, the 2 stories I've got, I picked very shit ones, and I picked ones that I've read on the channel years ago, but they were more serious, those previous readings, because it was just me reading them. But this one we can take the piss a bit more. One's called Squidward Suicide. Oh no. It's from SpongeBob and Sonic.exe. So which one would you guys want to read first? Suicide. I knew you were going to pick that one. I knew immediately. So I'll be reading. We'll just maybe be talking about the stories mainly. This one's a bit more of a certain topic podcast than usual. But next week we'll be all back to normal talking bollocks. But yeah, Squidward Suicide. I just want to start off by saying that if you want an answer at the end, the hell? I just want to start off by saying that if you want an answer at the end, prepare to be disappointed. There isn't one. Oh, fucking wonderful. Great start. That's the first sentence, by the way. Fucking hell. I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005 for my degree in animation. It wasn't paid, of course. Most internships aren't, oh, for fuck's sake. But it did have a perk beyond education. To adults it may not seem like a big one, but to most kids at the time would go crazy over it. Since I worked directly with the editors and animators, I got to view new episodes days before they aired. No, the fuck you won't. That's my main problem with this story, like, you just wouldn't have that chance at all. What the fuck? I'll get right to it without giving on too many unnecessary details. Spoiler, that's exactly what they do. They have recently made the SpongeBob movie. The entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity, so it took them longer to start up the season, but the delay lasted longer for more upsetting reasons. There was a problem with the Series 4 premiere that set everyone and everything back several months. Me and 2 other interns were in the editing room along with the lead animators and sound editors for the final cut of an episode. We received the copy that was supposed to be Fear of a Krabby Patty and gathered around to the screen to watch. You alright, Fox?
I just saw something built above my head.
Oh, I've just seen but some skin. Got squid. Oh god. Now, given that the final cut isn't final yet, animators often put up a mock title card at the beginning. It's sort of an inside joke for us, but so what the fuck have you put on the sign? I mean, it's not even blurred out anyway. With phonies oftentimes lewd titles being such as How Sex Doesn't Work, instead of Rockabye Bivalve, I think that fucking says, in which SpongeBob and Patrick adopt a sea scallop? Fucking hell. Nothing particularly funny, just work-rated chuckles. So when we saw the title card, Squidward Suicide, we didn't think it more than just a morbid joke. One of them... Oh yeah, haha, suicide. Fucking hell. I know. So funny. Dead motherfucker lol. One of the other interns did a small throat laugh at it. Fucking hell. Bunch of fun they are. The episode started with a happy-go-lucky music playing as normal. The story began with Squidward practicing his clarinet, hitting a few sour notes like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside. Squidward yells at him to shut the fuck up. No, that's not part of the story. Yelled at him to keep it down, as he has a concert that night and needs to practice. SpongeBob says okay and goes to see Sandy with Patrick. SpongeBob, shut the fuck up. I can't do Squidward. Ha! He's a Minecraft villager. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but the sound doesn't. It's supposed to be synced with the animation, so yes, that's not common. But when Squidward stops playing, the sound finishes, as if the skip never happened. There is a slight murmuring in the crowd before they begin to boo him. Boo, fuck you, Squidward! Boo. Not the normal cartoon booing that's common in the show. Mind you, you could very clearly hear malice in it. Squidward's in full frame and looks very visibly afraid. What, being booed at? The shot, grow a pair of balls. The shot goes to the crowd with SpongeBob in centre frame. He too is booing, which is very much unlike him. Is it? I don't fucking know. That is the oddest thing though, however. What's odd is that everyone had hyper-realistic eyes. Oh, here we go. All very detailed, clearly not shot of real people's eyes, but something a bit more real than CGI. The pupils were red. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused. But since we weren't the writers, we didn't question its appeal to children yet. Oh yeah, seeing bloodshot eyes is a great idea to show the kids, innit? The shot goes to Squidward sitting on the edge of the bed, looking very forlorn. What the fuck does that word say? The view out of his porthole window is of the night sky. So it isn't very long after the concert. But so why you just send a picture of the creepypasta? Jesus. The unsettling part is that at this point there was no sound. Literally zero sound. Yeah, I think I managed to gather from you saying there's no sound. Not even the feedback from the speakers in the room. It's as if the speakers were turned off. Though the statues, what the fuck are these words, showed them working perfectly. Squidward just sits there in the silence, blinking for about 30 seconds, then starts to sob softly. He puts his hands, tentacles. Why they originally put that in brackets, by the way. He could just put his tentacles. He originally just put hands in brackets tentacles. That makes it more funny. Over his eyes and cries quietly for a full minute more. All the while, a sound in the background is very gradually growing from nothing to barely audible. It sounds like a slight breeze through a forest. The screen slowly begins to zoom in on his face. By slowly, I mean that it is only noticeable if you look at the shots 10 seconds apart, side by side. His sobbing gets louder and more full of hurt and anger. The screen then twitches a bit, as if it twists in on itself for a split second before going back to normal. The wind through the trees sounds get louder and more severe, as if a storm is brewing somewhere. The eerie part is that... Scared the shit out of me then.
I could smell something horrible.
The eerie part is that The eerie part is that this sound and Squidward sobbing sounded real. It was like wasn't coming from the speakers and Bloodstorm, fuck off. Coming from the speakers, but that the speakers themselves were holes that the sound was travelling through from the other side. A sound as good as sound as the audio likes. Oh, for fuck's sake, as good a sound as the studio likes to have. They don't have the equipment to be able to produce audio of this quality. I'm not fucking that up. That's exactly how it's written. So Jesus Christ, like I'm not fucking up on purpose. It just makes this, like the wording of it so shit. Below the sound of the wind and sobbing very faintly audible, something sounded like laughing. It came at odd intervals. They never lasted more than a second, so you had a hard time pinning it. We watched this episode twice, so pardon me if things sound too specific, but I've had time to think about them. After 30 seconds of this, the screen blurred and twitched violently. Who's me? And something flashed over it, as if a single frame was replaced. The lead animation editor paused and rewound, frame by frame. What we saw was horrible. Oh, fucking hell, this is going to be fun to read. It was a still photo of a dead child. He couldn't have been more than 6. Oh, here we go. His face was mangled and bloodied, one eye dangling over it. Popped. He was naked. Okay, this just gets worse. For fuck's sake. He was naked down to his underwear, his stomach crudely cut open and his entrails splayed out beside him. He was laying on some pavement that was probably a road. I feel weird reading this, to be honest, but we move on. Quickly, the most upsetting part was that there was a shadow of the photographer, but no crime tape, evidence tags or markers, and the angle was completely off for a shot designed to be evidence. It would seem they were the person responsible for the child's death. We were of course mortified. Well, no fucking shit. But pressed on, hoping that this was just a sick joke. Okay. We gotta have a talk. Who the fuck thinks pictures of dead children is a...
Like this reading is like 80% the story, 20% side rant.
Yeah, that's basically what this is. Because that's the reason I picked these 2 shit stories, because so we can have a rant about them. The screen flipped back to Squidward, still sobbing louder than before, half of his body in the frame. There was now what appeared to be blood running down from his eyes. The blood was also done in a hyper-realistic style. What does that even mean? What the fuck? I've seen this a lot in stories like this, like hyper-realistic, and it just makes no sense. Looking as if you get it on your fingers if you touch the screen. The wind sounded now as if it were that of a gale blowing through the forest. There were even snapping sounds. Like of branches. The laughing, a deep baritone, lasted for long intervals and came more frequently. After about 20 seconds, the screen again twisted and showed a single frame. Oh, for fuck's sake. If this is not a dead child, I swear to God. A single frame photo. The editor was reluctant to go back. We all were. But he knew he had to. Why? Why did you have to? Fucking move on. Oh, here we go. This time the photo appeared to be of a little girl, no older than the first one. She was lying on her stomach, her barites, whatever the fuck that says, in a pool of blood next to her. Her left eye was damaged in the same way as the boy. She was naked. Oh, for fuck's sake, what's it with these naked children? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Can we just move on? Can we just move on from dead children, boy?
On the black market, Callum.
No, I literally just googled. This is the original... Dark web. This is literally the original story. Fucks me. Where are we? Except for her underpants. You know, shit. Her entrails were piled on top of her above another crew cut along her back. Again, the body was on a street, and the photographer's shadow was visible, very similar in size and shape to the first. I had to choke back vomit, and one intern, the only female in the room, ran out. The show resumed. Why did you not do that in the first place when you first saw the child? The first one. But hey ho. About 5 seconds after this second photo played, Squidward went silent. All sound cut out, like it did when the scene started. He put his tentacles down. Why do I find tentacles more funny than anything else? And his eyes were now done in a hyper-realism like the others were at the beginning of the episode. They were bleeding, bloodshot, and pulsating. He just stared at the screen as if watching the viewer. After about 10 seconds, he started sobbing, this time not covering his eyes. The sound was piercing and loud. The most fear-inducing thing of all was that his sobbing was mixed with screams. Tears and blood were dripping down his face at a heavy rate. The wind sound came back, and so did the deep voice laughing. This time, with a still photo that lasted a good 5 frames. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's gonna be another fucking kid, I bet you. The animator was able to stop it on the 4th and backed up. This time, the photo was of a boy. Oh, for fuck's sake. I just want to move past the children, please. About the same age, but the scene was different. His entrails were being pulled out from his stomach, wounded by a large hand. Oh, okay, that's a bit different. The right eye popped and dangling, blood trickling down it. The animator proceeded. proceeded, the next frame was different, but we couldn't tell how. He continued to the next image, and it was the same thing. He then went back to the first and played them quicker, and I lost it. I vomited on the floor. The animation and sound editors gasping at the screen. The 5 frames were not 5 different photos. They were frames from a video. We saw the hand slowly lift out the guts. We saw the kid's eyes focus on it. We even saw 2 frames of the kid beginning to blink. How the fuck? I think the problem with this story is it's too graphic. Like,
Yeah.
I think
My head is disturbing.
I actually hate reading this, but you know, I kind of saw this one coming, so I went myself. Oh, I can push through. The lead sound editor told us to stop. It's time to stop. He had to call in the creator to see this. Mr. Hillenberg arrived with it about 15 minutes. He was confused as to why he had been called down. So the editor just continued the episode. Once the next few frames were shown, all screaming and sound again stopped. Squid was just staring at the viewer, his face taking up the full frame, the fat fuck, for about 3 seconds. The shot quickly panned out. That deep voice said, "Do it." And we saw a shotgun in Squidward's hands. I'm surprised you didn't say tentacles. He immediately puts the gun to his mouth and shoots and pulls the trigger. Realistic blood and brain matter splatters over the walls behind him and his bed, and flies back with force. The last 5 seconds of this episode shows his body on the bed, on its side, one eye dangling from what's left of his head above the floor, staring blankly at it. Then the episode ends. Mr. Hillenberg was obviously angry at this. He demanded to know what the hell was going on. Most people left the room at this point, so there was just a handful of us left to watch it again. Why the fuck would you watch it again, you utter monks? Viewing the episode twice only served to imprint the entirety of it in my mind and cause me to horrible nightmares. I'm sorry I stayed. You should be fucking sorry, you idiot. The only theory we could think of was that the file had been edited by someone in the chain from the drawing studio to here. The CTO was called in to find out when it happened. Analysis of the file did show it was mixed between new material. However, the timestamp of the change was a mere 24 seconds before we began viewing it. All equipment involved was examined for foreign software and hardware, as well as glitches such as if the timestamp was showing us the wrong time, but everything checked out fine. We didn't know what happened, and to this day, nobody does. There was an investigation due to the nature of the photos, but nothing came of it. No child scene was identified and no clues were gathered from the data involved, no physical clues from the photos. I never believed in unexplainable phenomena before, but now that I've had something happen to me and can't prove anything about it beyond anecdotal evidence, I think twice about things. Fuck me, that's story number 1 done. Squidward suicide. Okay, we could do a mini review before we move on to the next one. Right. I'll let you two go first.
Graphic.
Yeah.
That's a type of horror I like, though. Very graphic.
Yeah, some people like it, but I think it gets to a point where it just gets a bit too much.
I don't know. I've watched Terrifier 3 and he's like cutting up children. You can see their guts hanging out of their body on the child's bed.
I think in a horror movie, it makes slightly more sense, but if you're writing a story,
Yeah.
it's just, a horror movie is kind of similar to that, but always horror movies, you can see it visually on a screen.
The image in your head, people are going to have different images of what's going on.
Yeah. But with this being a written story by someone, it just doesn't make much, it just seems a bit too vulgar and a bit too out there with it. Like I said, if it was a horror movie, then fair enough. But the fact that it was just some random bloke just written down a story, over 10 years ago. I get it, 10 years ago was a different time, but looking back on it, it's just a bit too much.
Is there an animated video about it?
I think there was. I think.
I'll be checking that out after.
No, prepare to get nightmares then, you.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I think that one just was a bit too, like, this is just too much. And and I think it was just unrealistic as well with the intern, like, being able to watch the episode. Like, you wouldn't even see, usually you wouldn't even see the animators unless you were bringing them a cup of tea. Like, it makes no, this story makes my internship with my uncle make more sense. Enough. Because I always, like, it was someone that, it was so, me being, what's it called? It was my uncle, like, it was my family, so it made sense that he paid me for it. Like, to some extent. But that made more sense than him being able to watch new episodes of SpongeBob early. That just, yeah, it's just way too... Yeah, it's just...
Oh, you would have loved that then, if that was the case.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, the story was just way too vulgar, and especially the dead children. Like, you do need to include 3 of them. Like...
Yeah.
I'm surprised I managed to get through it on, like, when I read it on the first time, like, when I just read it normally, like, with actual music in and stuff. Like, reading this in front of YouTube, like, made the experience more bearable, but reading this the first time, like, just on a video, it's me, like, in front of a microphone, just reading it, like, that definitely put me off, like, food. That...
Naked children.
Yeah, I think there was just way too much, like, children involved, and... way too much, like, oh yeah, again, you could use like a dark theme, but I feel like for like a TV character, it's a bit of a different story.
You want it to be scary with music, just have like the normal SpongeBob in the background.
Yo, just like turn down the pitch. I think, yeah, and I think, like, I get why they use Squidward, because in the show he is kind of depressed, like, quite a lot. So I get why they've used him for it, but I think, like, SpongeBob, put down the fucking pistol. So yeah, that was Squidward Suicide. If I was to rate it, okay, what would you guys rate it?
What?
10.
I think, like, the idea of, like, some sort of, like, character being evil, I think is okay.
Yeah.
Would I listen to it again? No. So I'm gonna give it 4, because I like the idea, but the execution is terrible.
Yeah. But so what do you think?
I'm gonna give it, well, until I see an animated video about it, I'm gonna give it a 7.
7? Fuck me. I'm gonna give it.
Yeah?
I'm gonna give it a 3 because.
Kids makes it scarier.
I think like this genre of like creepypastas is lost episodes, so it's basically like kind of like lost episode TV shows or cartoons. That's what this was as well. Well, it's not really a lost episode. It kind of is a lost episode, but hey ho. But I'm gonna give it a 3 because, like,
What you guys?
no, because we need to have it a good story for it to actually be scary. Like, dead children just doesn't do it for me. It just makes me feel fucking ill. Like, it makes me feel ill.
Missing out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And it makes me feel ill, and I think it needs to be realistic as well. Like, an intern being able to watch new episodes, fuck me, nope. That's what I said, because I gave you guys a hint, like I think it was last week. I said one of them's unrealistic. This one was the unrealistic one. Okay, the next one, the last one, Sonic.exe. This one, oh my god, you'll see why in a minute, why this one's notorious for pure stupidity. Is retardedness. Okay, that's a better word. Right, let's begin. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I'm probably the most backwards Sonic fan in the world. There's usually the fucking other way around, but hey ho. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience that I had. What? So you haven't played a hacked game, but okay, that's kind of slipped over my mind. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you get to explore the towns in it. why the fuck did you need to put that in brackets? Until I noticed out of my peripheral vision that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual and left. I paused my game just to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers and a note. I took it inside. I looked at the note first and realised it was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that. Fucking hell. Whom I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognised his handwriting. Though, what was weird is how it looked. What? Where is it? It looked badly written and scratchy and somewhat difficult to read. So how would you know it's Kyle's handwriting if it was fucking difficult to read? Fucking idiot. As if Kyle's having a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. Tom, I can't take it anymore. Oh no. Is this somehow related to the last story as well? I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late. And I'm hoping you do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. And if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. That's what's said to your mum. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Destroy the disc and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Please. Kyle. Well, that was certainly weird. Fuck me. Even though Kyle is my best friend and I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, I didn't do what he asked me. This is what I mean. Pure retarded. Because even if you don't believe his bollocks, you would have still listened to him. Idiot. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that. Anyway, I looked at the disc first, and it looked like any ordinary computer CDR disc, except it had black marker written on it, Sonic.exe, and it was must, unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning he must have got it from somewhere else, like a pawn shop or eBay. Oh yeah, I love getting my computer disc from pawn shop. When I saw Sonic written on the writing of the CD, I was actually excited and wanted to play it, since I am a big Sonic fan. Virgin. Then again, so am I, but you know. When I see Sonic writing or something, don't cream myself. I went up to my room and turned on my computer and put the disc and installed the game. Fucking commas, please. Installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome! Even though I'm a big Sonic fan, I don't own the fucking first game. Because, like I said earlier, I like the classics. The first thing I noticed that was out of place was when I pressed start. There was a split second when I saw the title image turn into something much different. Something that I now consider horrifying, before cutting to black. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened. The title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now instead Sega 666, and the water had turned red like blood. But the freakiest thing that was in that split second was Sonic himself. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding with two glowing red dots staring right at me, and his smile had stretched wider up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed by that image when I first saw it, though I figured that it was just a glitch and forgot about it. My main thing is, how in the hell have you remembered so much detail in just a split second frame? Jesus Christ, I couldn't even remember that if I reloaded the game like 10 times. After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so, and then another weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up. I was like, what the fuck? What's this doing in the first Sonic game? Anyway, then I noticed something off. The background was the dark, cloudy sky from the bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD. I'm sorry if you don't get all these references, by the way. There's a lot of these in this story, by the way. What was that, Bloodstorm?
I don't really know most of the references. I do watch Sonic movies. Not all of them.
Don't worry, I hardly get most of the references, and I'm probably the biggest Sonic fan here. And there were only 3 save files. The music was that creepy caverns of winter music from Earthbound. See, all the fucking references here. Only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse. And the image for the save file, where you see the preview of the level you're on, is just red static for all 3 files. But what freaked me out more was the character select. It showed only Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik. Robotnik! Slash Eggman, because I'm not calling him fucking Robotnik this entire story. Now, I was sure that something was up. I mean, how can you play as Eggman, oh fuck it, of course Robotnik is written down, in a classic Sonic game for crying out loud? And then I realised that this game wasn't a glitchy game, it was a hacked game. Well, you don't fucking say. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was very creepy, but as a smart gamer, oh no. Don't call yourself a smart gamer even though you didn't listen to your friend's advice. You fucking idiot. This guy makes me look smart, I'm not even joking. You'll know by the end of the story. This guy makes me look fucking clever. I wasn't scared. Always I try not to be. You've not even loaded the game yet, you pussy. I told myself that it was just a hacked game and there was nothing wrong with that. Anyway, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails. And when I selected and got started, the game froze for about 5 seconds and I heard a creepy pixelated laugh. Pixels don't have fucking sounds, you idiot. And sounded an awful lot like that Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black. Oh, all these fucking references are fucking killing my head already. The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more, then it showed the typical level title thing except the simplistic shapes with different shades of red, and the text only showed Hill, Act 1. Finally a fucking full stop. The screen faded in and the level title vanished, revealing Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing and had Tails start running like you would do in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd was that Tails was running along the level. There were nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. Why would you keep playing for 5 minutes if nothing was happening? Why? Like, if he was running along a straight line for 5 minutes, you'd be like, okay. Where were we? 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones. Very sorry as I kept going. I suddenly saw something and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of the small animals lying dead on the ground, bleeding. Oh, here we go. That was when the music started to slow down. Tails had a shocked and silent look on his face that I never saw him have before, so I had him move along, and he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers and he moves past more dead animals. I am reading this right, by the way. It may seem a bit odd, but I am reading this right. I was shocked to see how they all died. They looked like somebody killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hanged on a tree, what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and a duck had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. Yeah, thanks Sonic EXE. Lovely. I didn't want to eat anyway. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. I mean, he's 8 years old. Obviously he's going to be fucking frightened. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed, the music stopped. Tails was running up a hill. Then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there, on the other side of the screen, with his back against Tails, with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered, obviously noticing that Sonic wasn't responding to him, if not acting like he was completely oblivious to Tails' presence. Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move, so this had to be a cutscene. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feel of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt like Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen. I heard faint static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic, and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was fuck's sake. The foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Yes, he's a video game couch, he's not gonna fucking hear you, bro. And this is another problem with this guy as well. You'll find out in a minute. He acted like they're real. Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open, and they were black with those red glowing dots, just like that tile image. Though there wasn't a smile. You alright, Fox?
Yeah, I've just died.
Though there wasn't a smile. When that happened, the screen turned black and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, and then white text appeared forming a message, saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" No, the fuck I don't. At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the level title now saying, "Hide and Seek." Oh, here we go. Excuse me. This time I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire. Excuse me. Tails looked though as... I'm about to whip somebody's head. Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me, as if he wanted to get out of the area as fast as possible. Well, he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall, trying to tell me to get him out of there. So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme where you meet Shadow as the Ark and Robotnik in Sonic Adventure 2 was playing. Again, pixels don't have sound. You fucking muppet. As I made Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again. That awful Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds have passed as I helped Tails run through the forest. And then, I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen, again with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails slowly gaining up on him, flying. Sonic wasn't running, he was actually flying. The flying pose his sprite was making looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CD, except it was just Sonic. And he had the black and red eyes again. Only this time, he had the most deranged looking grin on his face. He looked like as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox, as he gained up on him. Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene. Why do you need to put that in brackets? The music stopped as Sonic vanished. Tails laid there and started crying for 15 seconds. Another thing about this story, he's very exact with timings. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, and I kind of teared up myself, you big pussy. But then yeah, I know he's crying over a fucking video game, and he's not even a sad one either. But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down those blackened eyes of Sonic's as a grin slowly grew from his face as he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch. Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails right before the screen went black. There was a loud screeching noise that lasted 5 seconds. The text returned, only this time it said, "You're too slow, want to try again?" And then that god-awful laugh came with it. I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails are supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? How the fuck should I know? Big pussy. I shook the shock off as I was brought back to the couch to select. The save file that had Tails it was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with that red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding, his orange fur had gone black, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next. The laugh came again, and then the screen cut to black again, and stayed there for another 10 seconds. This time, the level said, "You can't run." I mean, I'll probably fucking try, and my throat's killing me, by the way. I was very freaked out by now. I couldn't tell if it was a glitch, or a hack, or some kind of sick, twisted joke, or anything really. But despite my feeling of what happened next, I kept playing. The next level looked much different. It had the ground of the scrap brain zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu. It had the dark reddish cloudy sky, but it was the music that creeped me out the most. It sounded like Geiger's theme right after he beat Pokey in Earthbound, but yeah, what are all these references for? I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did, though not as much. More rather, he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall, just like Tails did, and looked as if he wasn't sure about going on, but I made him move anyway. He ran down the straight pathway in this dark level. As he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple times, and then the maddening laugh came again. Then after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something bad or something horrible was going to happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept him going. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him, with those black and red eyes again. And then red static appeared again. When the static vanished, showing nothing but black screen, with text saying, "Found you." I'm not even joking, that's literally how it's pronounced. I wasn't having a stroke. I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? Anyway, red static came again, and then I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and then Sonic was nowhere to be found. And this time, that high-pitched squealing from the Silent Hill 1's final boss playing. Jesus Christ. Was this some sort of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles in what appeared to be pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again. Then I made him punch again. And Sonic vanished again, laughing. Knuckles was panicking even more, and even I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Fucking hell. Bro thinks he's part of the team. Anyway, another cut scene played as Knuckles fell on his knees, and crushed his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. Bro, just get a grip, please. And then in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles and the screen went black with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds. Being very persistent with his timings, another text message appeared. So many souls to play with, so little time. Would you agree? Not really. Can't be asked. What the hell? Just what was going on? I started to think that Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think that. Of course you are, you pussy all. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time, the second save file had Knuckles in the TV screen. His red fur had darkened to a reddish grey, his dreadlocks was dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too. And he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those were the actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files, but I couldn't believe that. I didn't want to believe it. Here we go. So I shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap, which I hadn't, because I began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in pitch black darkness, though I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us!" and "Why did you give it to him, you fucking bitch?" and "Run away before he gets you too." Their cries died out as I then heard Sonic's laugh. His laugh. It sounded a lot like the distorted Kefka laugh. "You're a lot of fun to play with, kid." Oh no, here we go. Just like your friend Kyle. Though he didn't last long. I don't know where this is going, to be honest. That wording is so the wording of that is so shit. I was scared. I was looking around for the source of the voice. "Won't be long now until you join him and all my other friends." Oh, friends! I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. "You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others." When he grabbed me, and I saw his bleeding and black red. What the fuck? When he grabbed me and I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed grinning face. That's literally the way it's pronounced, by the way. I'm fucking this up because the wording of the sentence is so shit. I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. So I turned on my computer, turned on the game, and started Robotnik next. Oh, here we go. I still thought that was wacky, playing as Robotnik. But anyway, the level title appeared again, and this time it said ... which I found very freaky. What, dots? Pussy. So I keep saying pussy because he is a massive pussy in the story. This time I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games. Though we had the pixelated style, the floor was shiny and checkered, the walls were dark greyish purple, bloody hell, with animated candlelight and a few dark blood stains here and there was a dark red curtain hanging above on the top of the part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, that red curtain sways very slowly, but whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing a rather sad yet peaceful song, but I knew better. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. How the fuck do you know that then? Fucking genius. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face, as if he was just a bit paranoid. He did a little animation when I just left him standing. He turns his head to the left and then to the right, and at least twice he shrugs at me, as if he had no idea where he was or what was going on. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue onward. He did his usual running animation, you know, when you've beaten him at the end of a classic Sonic game and you chase him, as we continue going down the hallway. Then I stop at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, though I press onward. As I went Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed that the walls have gotten darker and more reddish. The red torches are now an eerie blue. Then we landed on another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. And then we headed down another flight of stairs down. This one was much longer. Took at least 1 full minute. Oh. As you acting like you didn't play for 5 minutes, having Tails just walking across a fucking path. So 1 minute is nothing. And then I heard that horrid Kefka laugh again. And then the music slowly faded until it was quiet. And as it did, the walls turned more dark and the torches were now a black frame. When Robotnik landed onto the third hallway, I noticed he now looked very creeped out, though he tried to hide it. I couldn't blame him. I was scared too. Of course you are, you fucking wimp. Grow up, hell balls. That's top tip of this story. Don't let video game characters pick on you. Suddenly Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik the same way he did Knuckles, and then the red static lasted for about 15 seconds, and then it showed me the most unpleasant image. Hold on, let me get comfy, my arse is hurting. I've been in the same position since we started reading, and my body's numb. The image showed an image of Sonic standing in the darkness where you could only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. He looked so real. You could actually see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen. Oh my god. Give me strength. His face. Oh god. He had the most horrifying smile I had ever seen, and that's saying something, considering I saw that image at the start of the game. His eyes were wide and black. Why are you so against black? He's always on about black. Bless him. And once again crying blood. And there were 2 small glowing red dots in those black eyes staring right at me, as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the sides of his face like a Cheshire cat. Jesus Christ. Except Sonic had fangs. Very sharp fangs. Much like the werewolf's teeth, except more vicious looking. Somewhat yellowish. And from the look of it, he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs as he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds, never taking my eyes off it. I felt like he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face. It took just 10 seconds for it to edge itself into my mind for good. Then the screen flickered with red static again 3 times, and on the 3rd time I heard the Kef go off again, except this time it sounded distorted, demonic even. It went back to the image again, except this time there was the text again, though it was messed up. But it was pretty much one of the most horrifying things I looked at since I had this game. I am God. Fucking hell. It was when I read that image while looking at Sonic when it hit me. I realised it right there and then. This Sonic was a monster. Okay, so it fucking took you this long to realise that. You fucking idiot. It took him like half an hour to figure that one out. Jesus Christ. The Sonic was a monster. A pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys. And the game is the very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly with his mouth wide open to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a ritual spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came again, this time much louder and distorted, so loud that it actually hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears as the red static screeched for a good 7 seconds. Then it stopped and showed nothing but black screen. As I sat there staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? The Kef go off, now sounding more clear, as if Sonic was right behind me, played again 3 times as I looked at the text in shock and confusion. Then I booted back to the main menu, and this time the 3rd save file had a TV image of Robotnik, in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned to a dull grey, his mustache drooped and had blackened, his glasses broke and blood was coming from them, and he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I looked at Tails, Knuckles and Robotnik, and I cried a bit, and for fuck's sake, I pitied them. I pitied them for the agony that they're going through. They were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. Jesus Christ. Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than one. And then when he gets bored, he drags you into the game. Literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you always, as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's... what was that, Bloodstorm? Oh my god. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there, but at least I managed to turn it back on now. After I sat there for 25 seconds, I heard a voice behind me, like a whisper. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring right at me, was a Sonic plushie, smiling, with bloodstains under its eyes. Right, that's it. That's Sonic EXE. Oh, I think I wanted to... Right. Review time. Bloodstorm, you want to go first?
Person was very retarded.
Yes. Now you understand what I mean. You're so retarded.
He was very retarded.
Yes.
To the point I was more distracted about him being retarded.
Yeah.
And he also has the emotions of a fucking puppy.
Yeah, it's just a video game,
A hacked game at that.
in a way.
It was a hacked game as well, so it wasn't even canon to Sonic at all. And
I
Let me
prefer
go
the
against
first one way more.
I think also before we get to Foxy's bit, I think he's a very bad friend for just not listening to his friend in the first place. Like you didn't really have to agree or or agree with what Kai had said. You could just be like, okay, something's wrong because you haven't spoken to him in 2 weeks as well, so that plays a factor in it. You just listen to him and get rid of the fucking disc.
Silly bitch.
You just get rid of the fucking disc, you fucking muppet. Anyway, Foxy, what do you think? Side rant
It
time.
was alright. I think it was a bit strange.
So,
Didn't really make much sense.
no.
First one was 10 times better.
I don't know, I prefer this. Yeah, it's kind of up in the air. I kind of prefer. There's pros and cons of both, I think. Sonic EXE wasn't as graphic, but the main character was too retarded, and it could have been easily evolved. I think the ending as well for Sonic EXE was fucking awful. A Sonic plushie. A fucking Sonic plushie with blood under its eyes. Come on. Could you not think of anything else?
Hand just reach and grab and put him into the game.
That would have made more fucking sense. I won't lie, that is how
Give it a 3 out of 10.
I give it a 5. I think because I have more nostalgia in this one than Squidward Suicide, but it still makes it shit. I think those are more nostalgia points than anything. But I think the ending kind of makes it more shit because he's actually I think the ending as well, you don't know what happened, but this whole story is kind of him recapping it. That bit's kind of unclear.
Yeah.
Obviously he's recapping a past experience, but if there's no if you don't know what happened to him by the end, then what the fuck? Did he get killed by Sonic EXE or whatever? I don't know. But if he's counting a past experience, he must have survived, but it doesn't make that clear. And also, if you want to know why Sonic had freaking killed everyone, the most canon version is that he got possessed by a demon, I think. I could be wrong. So that's why it was going all cuckoo. As well. That bit wasn't really mentioned in the story either. But unlike Squidward Suicide, there's actually an actual game based on the story I've just read. Someone actually went ahead and
Actual one.
yeah, someone actually made a full game, well, based on what I've just read. So I think big YouTubers like PewDiePie, Markiplier, and that have played it, and Jacksepticeye. I think could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I know PewDiePie has definitely played it, so it does exist. And I think Sonic EXE is, I would say, slightly better because it's still around. People still make stuff of it, to this day, which I'm. What's that? What's up?
Sonic. Everyone loves Sonic.
I was going to say probably.
Yeah, probably. But it's still getting content. I don't know how, because I like the idea, but kind of like Squidward Suicide, it kind of got it's got shit execution. And good thing it wasn't as graphic as Squidward Suicide, fanfuck. Obviously he had his moments the animals, in in Tails' level. I think that was the most graphic it got. I think it was. I think that's the most graphic the story got. Yeah, everyone getting hung and freaking slit the throat. Okay, so before we move on to, we actually play your game if it's nearly finished.
No, it's nearly done. I just need to do a few last things.
Okay.
It's all ready for
Okay,
you.
lovely jubbly. So let's pick one moment one moment we loved and one moment we hated from both stories.
Okay.
Start with you, Fox.
Right, I'm trying to remember what happens in the first one now. I think the idea of having you know, like a well-known character be a little bit evil is quite interesting. I think the only problem is that it was never like properly explained
No.
what actually happened. Like, and I know some of them are scary for not knowing what happens, but I think they could do with a little bit more context, because I think it is a bit confusing as to like what happened.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to know.
I think Squidward getting depressed over being booed at is kind of pathetic. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I think you could have given a bit more of a better reason. What was that, Bloodstorm?
Squidward thought he was too good, but even SpongeBob laughed at him.
I know, and the SpongeBob's
It was
like.
all SpongeBob's fault.
But yeah, I think Squidward like being depressed over him getting booed at is a bit of a shit reason for him to be depressed. Like you could have had like literally any other reason. Like maybe him getting fired from the Krusty Krab would have made slightly more sense than him getting booed at. Because it's like, oh yeah, you could have practiced on it and you could have got better. Like I know. Okay, so what was your favourite bit about it anyway, Fox?
The end.
The ending. Okay, so well, we're all done. What was your favourite bit about? Or your favourite, always favourite bit about Sonic EXE?
Favourite part.
If there is one.
Well, no, I think overall, I think it's an interesting concept having a game be hacked. The only thing is that doesn't really make much sense is how can a game be hacked when, like, at the end it says there was a plushie. So it's like clearly it wasn't hacked, because if it was hacked, then they wouldn't be able to come through the screen.
Yeah. I think
Doesn't make much sense.
the ending's like the worst bit about it. I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Because there was no need for the plushie part. Like you could have just made it still terrifying without that.
I mean, and again, it wasn't really that scary to begin with. Anyway, Bloodstorm, what was your least and favourite moment from both stories?
Starting with Squidward's fucking death. Favourite bit, I liked how graphic it was. Because I just like very graphical things like that. Least favourite part was it was not realistic though.
Yeah.
Fucking intern watching SpongeBob was early.
Yeah, fuck off. Exactly.
It should not be real.
What about Sonic EXE?
With the Sonic one, I gave it a 3, but the thing I like about it is that you don't see video game stuff, do you?
No, not really.
That's just something different. Least favourite part of fucking stuff.
Yeah, for the fucking ending. Like, we wasted all of our time for the fucking ending.
I love that for just a fucking little...
Push you with
I'm gonna see online if there's an image of what it could look like.
with ketchup stains, basically. It was my favourite and least favourite from Squidward Suicide. I think kind of like Bloodstorm's, the whole internship watching SpongeBob episodes early, that just wouldn't happen. You wouldn't even see the lead animators, or unless you were giving them like a fucking cup of tea or getting them biscuits. That'll be the only time you'd see them ever. And then my favourite bit was, I don't know if there is a favourite bit, to be honest. I'm trying to think. Like, I like the concept of it, like Squidward getting a bit depressed, because he was a character that in SpongeBob was kind of depressed anyway. Like, obviously he's kind of like a doom and gloom guy, so it kind of played on that a little bit. But I think him getting booed at was a bit, and him, being depressed over that is kind of a bit. Yeah, it would suck for a little bit, but you just grow a pair of balls and move on. So yeah, I did for Sonic EXE. My favourite bit was, like, it didn't really. I think what I love about the story is it doesn't explain why Sonic was going a bit cuckoo. They kept there's not really like the story never says like, oh yeah, why is Sonic going all mad all of a sudden? Why is he killing everyone? Like they keep that like a hidden. I know, like, people say, oh yeah, he was possessed by a demon, which is, I think, the most common answer to that. And if realistically enough to make sense. So I like how they just didn't tell us that Sonic, because every time they said, oh yeah, Sonic was doing this, they said Sonic, not like Sonic EXE or whatever. They said Sonic, like his full name. So it was fully believed that, oh yeah, Sonic was just turned evil, or it didn't really explain why his eyes was black and red. That's what I've always loved about that story, and always favourite bit, the fucking ending, the fucking plushie, man. Like, you've made me read 900 paragraphs for fucking a plushie, like, with ketchup stains, basically, under his eyes. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy the stories, everyone. Maybe next year we'll probably do that again. I'll try and find some more shit stories, maybe ones I've not read before. Or maybe some even good ones, maybe. Well, somewhat good ones. Well, ones that I've not read. That people think are good. So maybe we can try that next year for Halloween, because I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah. This is very interesting.
Even though my throat is fucked, to be honest.
Are there any more like Halloween stories? Let's see if I'll read just one.
Oh, there you go. Give my throat a break.
What's it called? Halloween stories. What did you type in?
I just put in like a creepypasta. Well, I just put, because I already knew the name of the stories that we've read anyway, because they were like
original horror fiction.
Very classic ones.
Okay.
Give my throat a break.
Isn't great today, so
Send it to Bloodstorm. Make him read.
I'll give it a read. Okay, this one is called.
I'm going to shut my window because there's fireworks going off, I think.
Let's go with. I'm just looking at stories.
Make a window shut.
This one is called Let Me In.
Let me in.
Little pig, let me in.
Little pig, bend over. Let me in. Let me in.
Right. So this one is. Oh, okay. This one's got parts. Is it a long one? I don't want to read the long one.
Yeah, I was trying to find a shorter one, just to save all of us from dying.
Okay, it's fine. I'll read quick. I'll be okay. So this one's called Let Me In.
Let me in. Let me in.
So it says, I work at nights at our middle school. It's a small place, 2 floors, 1 gym for Callum, a cafeteria that smells vaguely like canned green beans even when it's spotless.
The hook.
Cuts mean the day crew leaves at 5 and I handle the late shift alone. I don't mind, no kids, no teachers, just me, a rolling cart and the hum of lights that were the cheapest the district could buy. That night the snow had started early, the kind that drifts sideways and fills in footprints 30 seconds after you make them. The district robocall said classes were cancelled tomorrow. Woohoo! Good
No.
for families, bad for me, because an empty building somehow collects more mess than a full one. I was halfway through buffing the east hallway when the radio clicked to my belt, coughed out a loud burst of static, the kind that sounds like someone tapping the microphone with a fingernail. Custodian, I said, mostly alphabet. Eli here. Nothing back. Just the tone of the emergency system doing its idle check. I went back to the buffer. You learn to tune out the building's noises the same way you tune out your own fridge at home. I made another pass, parked the machine, then grabbed a bag of trash and cut down the stairwell. My footsteps sounded too loud. I told myself it was the waxed floors. The first knock came when I was tying off a liner in the faculty lounge. 3 light raps, not the slam of a kid in a rush, not the pounding of someone in trouble. Polite. It took me a second to place where it came from, because it didn't belong to the room I was in. Sound carries weird through the halls. I stepped out into the corridor and listened. Nothing. I should have kept working. Instead, I headed towards the back of the building, out by the gym. Callum will probably be there. There's an exit there with two big panes of reinforced glass. Beyond them is the loading area and a stretch of parking lots with a single light that flickers when the wind is high. It was doing that now. On, off, on, making the snow look like TV static. From halfway down the hall, I saw a shape standing at the door. I thought my eyes were playing with the reflection, but no, there was someone outside. Tall, still,
And
tilted slightly.
I'm black.
I couldn't make out a face. I couldn't make out a face, only the outline. I took a few steps closer. Ears. The shape had long ears, rounded at the tips. A costume. I actually laughed. A short, nervous burst that felt stupid as soon as it happened. Halloween was months ago, but a few of our high schoolers had a thing about messing with the middle school. Put on a mascot head, knock, film it, get likes, that sort of thing. School's closed, I said through the gas.
For the gas.
The glass. Already annoyed with myself. That was Bloodstorm, that was. I told you earlier, he's always making, I thought there was a weird smell I could do. Good smell. I said through the glass, already annoyed with myself for walking all the way over. Come back during daylight and use the front like a normal person. The figure didn't move. Snow coated the soldiers. The shoulders. But there wasn't any of the footprints behind them. Because there wasn't any footprints. The whole floor was smooth. I set my palm against the glass, thinking maybe I'd see fog on the side where they breathed out. Nothing. Another laugh, this one not mine, came through my radio. Small and tinny. I glanced down at it, then back up at the door. Let me in, the figure said.
Let me in.
The sound didn't come from outside. It came from my radio. A soft voice, level, a little too even. Let me in, please. I took a step back. The radio crackled again. Normal this time. And then my phone vibrated with a text. District alert. Lockdown. Do not open exterior doors. Shelter in place. That happens when there's a police situation in town. They ping all the schools in a radius, just in case. I looked down the empty hall, then back at the shape. Sorry, I said out of reflex. Can't. Policy. I pointed to the phone to make it clear, like whoever it was needed to see the proof. No reaction. I walked away. I wanted to say I did it calmly, but I didn't like turning my back, so I kept my head on a swivel and my pace a little faster than normal. I told myself I'd loop through the front office, check the cameras, then call it in if it still felt jumpy. The front office is one of those glassed-in cubes with monitors no one ever bothered to replace. I jiggled the mouse, woke up the fiend. 4 exterior views, 4 interior. The gym exit camera, where Callum is, camera 3, was black for a second, then flickered to a picture that it looked like it had been through a blender. Digital snare. The other 3 exterior feeds came up fine, and on camera 1, the side door by the cafeteria, I saw a dark silhouette standing at the glass. I squinted. Same height, same tilt to the head, same ears. The gym exit, where Callum is at the end of the building from the cafeteria. I hadn't heard any door open. I hadn't heard anything at all. I tried to convince myself it was a lag in the feed, some kind of timestamp issue, or maybe I was looking at the reflection. But the snow on the parking lot outside the cafeteria door wasn't the same as the snow outside the back. The drift patterns were not even close. The radio on the desk, the officer's one, blurted out again, and I nearly knocked over my stapler. 2 words, clear as day, like a recording, let me in. My thumb hovered over the call button. I wanted a second voice, a living person, to give me something a normal person to bounce against. The principal goes home at 5, our CRO is off shift at 9. The only adult on site should have been the security contractor, who stops by twice a night to walk the inside. His logbook said he'd come through 40 minutes earlier. I pressed the button again. Eli here. Anyone copy? Silence. I stared at the cafeteria camera. The silhouette didn't get bored, didn't rub hands to keep warm, didn't shift weight. It just stood there, patiently. I thought about calling 911, 911, and then we had a conversation.
9/11. Jesus Christ. But some.
About calling 911 and then picture the conversation. Yes, hi, there's a person in a bunny suit at the door. I put the phone down. Walking over and telling the kid to get lost seemed easier than explaining any of this. I took the service corridor. It runs behind the auditorium and the band room, all cinder blocks and grey paint. There's a spot where the HVAC makes the floor vibrate a little, and you can feel it in your ankles. As I passed it, the intercom popped. Usually that system only does the morning announcements. It shouldn't do anything at midnight. This speaker gave a quick hiss, then a child's voice, grainy, like it'd been taped off a TV years ago, and it said, "You forgot me." I stopped.
But some
The hall
dad.
seemed to recede a few feet, a trick of perspective I get when I'm too tired. I told myself the message was an old recording breaking through. Maybe they were testing the system earlier and left a clip on the server. "Knock it off," I said to the empty corridor. "Very funny." I reached the cafeteria and peered around the corner towards the door. The glass was clear. Outside was empty. No figure. "Great," I muttered, ready to chalk the whole thing up to the cameras being junky. I pulled the panic bar and cracked the door an inch to look down the jamb for any tape or gum in the latch, because kids love that trick. Cold air knifed in. I leaned out a bit, checked the threshold, checked the loss. Smooth snow from wall to curb, no marks. When I pushed the door shut again, the metal made that hollow boom that echoes everything off, and the sound bounced away down the hall. I locked it, tugged it twice, then turned around. There's a glass panel in the cafeteria that looks back into the dark part of the kitchen. For half a second I saw my reflection there, pale in a blue hoodie, wide open, wide-eyed and stupid. But behind that reflection, where the kitchen door leads to the back of the hall, I saw the outline of a person with tall, rounded ears. I didn't turn my back on it this time. I edged away, keeping it in view. The figure didn't even come close. It waited, just like before. The intercom clicked again, some flat tone, then that even voice, not a kid this time, not an adult either, something in between, said, "Let me in, please."
No.
Something loosened inside of me, like Callum a few weeks ago.
Oh, piss off.
The way it does when someone uses a polite tone in a situation where it doesn't quite fit in. It wasn't begging, it wasn't even threatening. It was asking the way you would ask a neighbour for a cup of sugar at 9 at night. "No," I said out loud, "not tonight." I backed into the hall, fumbled for the keys on my belt, and locked the cafeteria door from the outside. Then I went fast, not running, but close to it, back towards the front office. I wanted all the lights on. I wanted screens in front of me. I wanted the number for the non-emergency police lined up, pulled up and ready. When I reached the office, camera 3, the gym exit, where Callum is, finally came back from the static. The image rolled once, stabilised and showed the back doors with snow piling up outside. A tall, black shape stood dead centre, turned slightly sideways, head tilted at the same wrong angle. He is rounded. No footprints again, though the drift against the aluminium threshold had lines cut into it like something weightless had pressed there. The radio on the desk woke with a rustle, a whisper, close enough that it sounded like it came from just under the plastic grill. "You promised," it said. I didn't remember promising anyone anything. I picked up the handset again, anyway, just to have something in my hand. "Who is this?" I asked.
Hello.
The second it left my mouth. Static, then measured and soft. "Let me in." A pause. "Please." I didn't sleep the night before, and I'm sure as hell I didn't after that. When the radio went dead again, I sat in the office trying to convince myself what I'd just heard was feedback. Maybe an old loop from the system testing itself. But that voice, that tone, wasn't mechanical. It was too aware. I finally forced myself to check the monitors again. every exterior feed was empty except the one by the back gym doors. It was you, Callum.
Yeah, it was me. I was in the story.
Big boy.
Silly
The
boy.
thing was still there. It hadn't moved an inch, not in a way a human would anyway. The camera picked up just enough light to define its outline against the snow. Shoulders slumped, head crooked, ears upright. What got me though was that it looked like it was facing the camera, not the door, like it knew I was watching it. My chest went tight. I killed the feed. For a while I tried keeping busy, grabbing my mop bucket, checking the cafeteria sinks again, but every corner of that place seemed wrong now. Every sound echoed too long. I caught myself glancing at the windows every few seconds, expected that to see the silhouette pressed against the glass again. Around one, I started hearing the doors. Soft thuds, spaced apart, thump, thump, thump. Not fists, more like palms, or maybe the heel of a hand. I walked the halls, tracking the sound like a dog chasing a scent. It moved when I did, always one door ahead, always at the same rhythm. When I rounded the corner to the front entrance, the noise stopped. The doors stood still behind their metal crash bars, black glass reflecting their hallway light with nothing outside. Then my radio popped again. Not a voice this time, music, a faint, scratchy tune like something off of an old cassette. I leaned closer and I swear I recognised it. The pep rally jingle they used to play over the PA when I was in 7th grade. The one for our mascot, Hoppy the Hare. The
Ooh.
one who burned. I froze. My mouth went dry. The story was old news. One of those small town tragedies people turned into ghost stories for Halloween. The kid's name was Calvin or something. He'd been wearing the half hockey suit at a rally in the late 80s when a pyrotechnic caught a backdrop curtain. People said he panicked and couldn't find the zipper. The costume melted before anyone could get to him. No one ever wore it again. They locked it in the storage room under the gym where Callum was.
Yeah, I'm the guy in the Halloween's. I'm the guy in the costume. Confirmed.
Well, at least that's what we always said. And here I was, staring down at an empty hall, listening to that jingle hiss through a radio that wasn't even tuned into anything. I tried shutting it off. The switch didn't work. I pulled the battery out entirely and it still kept playing. That's when the light started to flicker. First in the office, then down the hallway like a wave. Each bulb buzzed, dimmed, and came back brighter. I could hear the ballast hum in the ceiling tiles. Then the intercom clicked again. A faint shuffle, a breath, then a whisper, so clear I could feel it in the base of my skull. You promised you'd let me in. I froze. Who is this? No answer, just a dental tap from down the hall. I turned down the sound, already knowing what I'd see. Then here he was again, framed by the blue metal of the gym doors, where Callum was. Same silhouette, same tilt in the head, the light from outside had changed. The snowstorm must have slowed because a grey wash of dawn was starting to bleed down through the glass. That's when I noticed something new. There was condensation on the inside of the door, just above the push bar, right where a face would be if someone had pressed against it. Something had breathed on the glass from the inside. I took a step back, every instinct screaming not to blink. The shape stayed. It's a weeping angel.
Weeping angel.
I can already see it.
Shoot
The
it.
shape stayed still.
Shoot
I
it.
could see the faint movement, ripples across the silhouette's chest, as if it was breathing with me. I said, "You're not supposed to be here." The voice came back, didn't use the radio this time. It came through the door itself, like the glass vibrated to carry the sound. "It's cold out here." I should have run then. Should have got straight out the front and into the store, but I needed proof. Something said that this wasn't just a trick of light and fatigue. I reached for my phone, raised it, and snapped a picture. The flash went off, lighting the hallway for a split second. When I looked at the screen again, the shape was gone. I dropped the phone, the lights went out entirely. For a heartbeat, the only sound in the building was the lone whine of the wind pressing against the old windows. Then, somewhere behind me, a set of heavy, deliberate footsteps echoed across the tiles. I turned slowly. Down the hall, the emergency exit sign over the far door flickered again. In its glow, something stood just past the glass, hands flat against it, head tilted like before. It whispered again, barely audible, through the layers of metal and snow. "Let me in, please." I'm just going to check how long this story is. Because these are in chapters, and we're on chapter 3 now. There's 5 chapters.
Oh, bloody hell.
Okay, chapter 4. Chapter 5 is the last one.
Okay,
So,
we can get through it.
okay, we can get through this. I'm going to have a quick drink though, because my voice is dying.
Yeah.
Right, chapter 3.
I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah, this one's actually quite good.
This one's better than the other two, anyway.
Yeah. I think it's because this one doesn't have a set theme, but we'll discuss it after the end.
Yeah.
So, chapter 3. By 2:30, I was past pretending this was anything normal. I'd locked every door I could find, cut the bulbs in half the hallways, and holed up in the janitor's office with a folding chair jamming against the knob.
Knob.
The building didn't feel empty anymore. The silence had a pulse to it, like the hum of the lights had learned how to breathe. I sat at the desk, flashlight in one hand, radio at the other, flipping through the old binder of maintenance reports.
He's having trouble breathing.
Anything just to keep me busy. When that stopping helped, I reached for the shelf behind me and grabbed one of the old yearbooks left over from a clean out. 1986. I didn't even know why I opened it. Maybe just to prove to myself that there was a rational explanation for all of this. Maybe to confirm that what I'd been hearing through the intercom hadn't come out of nowhere. About 20 pages in, there it was. A photo spread labelled, "Pep Rally Traditions, Go Badgers!" The usual smiles, streamers, and a blurry shot of a kid in a rabbit suit leaping across the gym floor where Callum was. It jumped. The caption read, "Calvin Dollars, our beloved Hoppy the Hare, bringing the spirit." 2 pages later came the In Memoriam section. Callum again. Callum? Calvin.
Calvin.
No suit this time, just a senior portrait. Something just fell off my shelf. Get me. The old kind faded at the edges. His eyes looked directly into the lens. The text below was simple. He died doing what he loved, which was making kids laugh.
Oh, God.
A drop of water hit the page. For a second, I thought it was from the leaky ceiling tile just above the desk. Then another fell, landing closer to my wrist. The air was dry. I looked at my hand. It wasn't water, it was condensation. The radio on the desk hissed softly, then broke into faint static. I raised it to my ear. Through the noise came children laughing. Dozens of them. It was distant, warped, like a recording being dragged under water. Mixed in with it, metal scraping concrete. I stood. The laughter stopped. The scraping didn't though. It came from the hall outside, then from the next one over, travelling across the lockers and snow, deliberate sweeps. I killed my flashlight and listened carefully. The sound paused, then step, scrape, step, scrape. It was heading towards me. I turned the lock on the door handle until it clicked. My reflection in the narrow office window caught the dim glow of the exit sign beyond, and in that red half-light I saw movement, something tall crossing between doorways. A shape. I ducked under the desk, barely breathing, eyes fixed on the crack of light under the door. The steps stopped just outside. A shadow fell across the floor. 2 thin shapes extended downwards, and I realised they weren't ears. They were the tips of something longer, bent forward, brushing the door. Then came a soft, dragging whisper. "You said you'd help." It was right against the door now. I could hear the sound of fabric shifting, like a costume rubbing against itself, damp and heavy. I wanted to scream. Instead, I crawled backwards until I hit the filing cabinet. Something rattled above me. Keys, swinging gently from their hook. When I dared to look again, the shadow was gone. I waited another minute before unlocking the door. Every instinct told me to stay put. The noise hadn't come back, and the silence had got worse. It needed to see where it went. The hallway was empty, but down by the gym, where Callum was, the exit boy.
City boy.
The door was open, not wide, just enough for snow to drift through in a thin white line. I approached slowly, my shoe squeaked on the tiles. Cold air poured in, carrying the smell of wet fabric. Footprints marked the door, bare, human, and small. They led away from the door, across the hall, and into the cafeteria. I followed them. When I reached the doorway, I stopped dead. The figure stood by the serving counter, back turned. Steam rose faintly from its shoulders, and beneath the blackened fur of its costume, something pulsed. Too slow to be breathing, too steady to be a heartbeat. It turned its head, but not its body. The head rotated a little too far, the eyes glinted dull white. "You promised," it said again. Then as the same words left its mouth, the PA system buzzed to life above us, and every speaker in the school whispered the same phrase, overlapping out of sync. "You promised, you promised, you promised." I stumbled backward, tripped over a chair, and crawled for the door. The figure didn't chase me though. It just stood there in the dim red light of the exit light, waiting and watching. When I finally reached the hallway, I slammed the cafeteria door shut and wedged my mop handle through the bars. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely fit it through. Then the laughter came again, this time from behind the door, muffled, dozens of voices giggling like the kids hiding in the dark. I backed away, heart hammering. It wasn't laughter anymore. It was something trying to remember how to sound like laughter. Chapter 4. By the time the laughter stopped, I was halfway down through the hall, hands pressed to my ears, breathing like I'd run a mile. I ducked into the nearest classroom and locked the door behind me. The smell of dry erase markers and old carpet hit me all at once. Normal smells, grounding smells. And for a second I could almost pretend the world outside the door was the same as it had always been. But I knew better. Something about that voice, and the way it said my name, had reached back to a place I hadn't thought about for about 20 years. I slumped into one of my desks, trying to slow my thoughts. The school's ventilation rattled overhead. I remembered being 13 in that same building, sneaking into the basement with my friends after practice. It's always a fucking basement. We dared each other to find the old costume. It was supposed to be down in storage, past the boiler room, in the corner where they kept the outdated brand uniforms and folding chairs. Someone's older brother said you could smell the smoke down there. I hadn't believed it until I saw it. The plastic storage tub with the melted lid, the fabric inside that held up its shape, and the tank, half burned with the same Calvin Dorrance stitched into its red thread. My friends thought it was hilarious. We used to make up stories about how Calvin's ghost still walked the gym during pep rallies, where Callum was, still looking for someone to finish his act. That night, we took turns touching the suit, daring each other to put it on. I'd always go last. Give me a second. Someone needs to come into my house, and the door is locked. Let me go and let them in quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Right, give me a second.
Yeah, this one's definitely better than the previous two. Yeah. Yeah, this one's my favourite as well.
Something about being in a school.
Yeah. There you go. Children.
Final.
No, bitch. Fuck off, hoe. Such a lame. I beg your pardon. Would you care to repeat that, Bloodstorm?
Shut your bitch ass up, ninja.
Careful.
Now, here's what I said.
No, you didn't. Man, shut your.
Replay it. Replay the footage.
Man, shut your lame ass Scooby Dooby Doo motherfucker. Shut your Why are you building a black wall?
There wasn't.
Putting black walls. Yeah.
It's actually a
Oh.
grey wall.
I'm sorry you haven't done anything to me whilst I've been reading this. Oh,
No.
I shouldn't have said that. Right, so. Are we ready?
Yeah.
We've got the rest of this chapter, then one more. So we're nearly done. I'm enjoying this one, man.
Yeah, this one's way better.
So it says, when did I get to? Oh, here we go. Then it whispered, "She said it's cold." I didn't remember that part until right now. We'd left the storage room door open where we ran, laughing the whole way up the stairs. The next morning, the janitor, old Mr. Reedley, sounds like a nonce, the sound at the bottom of these same stairs, broken leg, concussion. He told people that he'd fallen over, but the rumour was going around that someone had pushed him. After that, they padlocked the basement door, and now, after all these years, I was the one holding the keys to go in. I didn't know what made me do it. Maybe guilt, maybe curiosity, maybe the part of me that wanted to prove there was still a logical reason for everything happening tonight. But I left that classroom, retraced my steps to the maintenance hallway, and dug out the ring of key master keys from my belt. The air felt heavier the closer I got to the basement. Dust sifted down through from the ceiling with every step. The door's padlock hung from a rusted hasp, the metal pitched and scarred. I slipped the key in, turned it, and heard the click echo down the stairwell like a shotgun. Cold air rose from below, stale, dry, faintly chemical. I pointed my flashlight down the steps. The storage room was just as I remembered. Metal shelves, box labelled, uniforms, and prom decor, 1985. But the tub that had used to hold the costume was gone. In its place was a smear of black against the concrete, like something had melted and soaked into the floor. I crouched to look closer. The beam of my light caught a bit of torn fabric, matted grey fur, and beneath it something hard and shiny. A zipper pull, and it was still warm. That's when the intercom above me cracked to life again, and even though there wasn't supposed to be speakers down there, a soft, childlike voice said, "You left the door open." I turned so fast I nearly fell over. The door at the top of the stairs was ajar again, letting in a sliver of light from the hallway, and behind it, silhouetted in that light, was a shape I'd started to recognise all too well. Tall, thin, with long, rounded ears brushing the frame. I rose halfway up the stairs. "Calvin," I said before I could stop myself, "you shouldn't be here." The voice that came back was calm, gentle even. "You let me in once." Its hand gripped the door frame, fingers too long. The skin stretched thin and pale beneath the matted fur. "You promised to help me finish."
Whoa.
I tried to speak, but my throat felt locked. It stepped forward, the air around it humming faintly, like static before a lightning strike. Its face was still hidden by shadow, but the shape of the muzzle, the seams of the mask, were all far too wrong, melted into the skin beneath. "Just one more show," it said, "then I can rest." I backed down the stairs, the beam of my flashlight shaking across the walls. The thing followed, slow but steady, one hand sliding across the concrete as it descended. I hit the bottom and bolted for the utility room. My flashlight bounced off pipes and old paint cans as I stumbled inside. I slammed the door and locked it. From the other side came a quiet tapping, once, twice, then, "Let me in, please." It wasn't a demand, it wasn't a threat, but it was a reminder. Part 5.
Here we go.
I don't remember unlocking the door. 1 minute I was huddled against the cold metal, whispering, "Please go away," to no one, and then the next the latch was sliding open under my hands, like it'd been waiting for me to give in. The hallway beyond was dark. Every emergency light along the ceiling burned red and low, throwing just enough glow to paint the walls in streaks. The air smelled of burnt plastic and something sour underneath, like damp fur left too long in the dryer. At the end stood the thing that used to be Hoppy. The costume hung in shreds, fur melted into the skin beneath. Its eyes had gone soft and wet, moving like something alive behind a mask. Smoke curled from its mouth, and each shallow exhale. It stepped closer, bare feet slapping the tile. "You left the lights on," it said softly, voice echoing from the PA at the same time, repeating itself down the corridors. "You left the door open." I backed away, flashlight shaking in my grip. The beam hit its chest, blackened fabric, stitched over and over in red thread. A single zipper ran crooked down from its torso, half fused shut with melted nylon. Inside the gap, something pulsed faintly, like a second heart. "Calvin," I said, though it didn't really look like anyone anymore. "You're not supposed to be here." It tilted its head, the skin around the muzzle cracked, revealing teeth. Real ones, human, burned down to the gum line. "Cold out here," it whispered. "Let me in, please." I took another step back and my heel struck the pull handle for the fire alarm. The thought barely formed before instinct took over. I grabbed it and yanked. The siren scream rippled through the building. Red strobes burst to life, flashing off every polished surface. Sprinklers kicked on a heartbeat later, raining cold water down in silver sheets. The thing convulsed. Steam poured from the seams of its body. The fur hissed and bubbled, curling away from the skin beneath until the smell of wet ashes filled the air. "Help me finish," it howled, and for a moment I saw the boy inside. "Help me finish," I announced. Just as text arrived beneath the ruin of a mascot screen, then its voice fractured into static, echoing through the intercom until every speaker in the building screamed the same three words. "Let me in." Not "let me finish." I stumbled backwards, slipped, hit the floor hard enough to see white. Water flooded across the tiles, carrying scrapes of grey fabric past my fingers. When I looked up again, the hallway was empty, except for the flicker of the alarm lights and the echo of dripping water. I must have passed there. When I came to, the sirens were gone and daylight was spilling through the windows. Police tape hung across the gym doors, where Callum was. An officer was talking to the principal near the front office, both of them whispering in a way that people do when they're trying to not admit that they were scared. They said they'd found me unconscious by the back exit, holding a melted piece of latex shaped like a rabbit's ear. No footprints outside, no signs of forced entry. They asked what happened, and I told them the truth. The only version I could get through was shaking. They wrote it down, nodding politely, pretending to believe me. Before they led me out, I glanced once more towards the cafeteria hallway. The puddles there had already started to dry, but in the thin film of residue left on the glass of the exit door, someone or something traced a message with a wet finger. "Let me in, please." Nearly there. Almost done.
Boom, boom.
God. Right. This is the last part.
Right.
Epilogue. They reopened the school 3 days later. The insurance adjuster said the damage from the sprinklers wasn't bad. There was just some ruined ceiling tiles and warped floorboards near the cafeteria. The district wanted the building aired out and ready for classes by Monday, so they hired a temp to cover my shift.
Got on mute. He's got on mute.
Oh, bloody hell, I better not be it.
His name is Tyler, 21, new to the district. Didn't know of any of the local schools. I only know that because I saw the post on the staff group chat later that morning. The thread started with a photo. One of those casual not Snapchats. Someone takes to prove that they're doing their job. It was one of the back gym doors, where Callum was. Outside, the parking lot was blanketed in snow. Inside, right up against the glass, was a single Zoomed in, you could see the condensation clear. Finger trails drown into the fog. 3 words scratched into the glass from the outside looking in. "Let me in, please." That post stayed up for about an hour before the principal deleted it. I haven't gone back since. But sometimes, late at night, my phone buzzes with an alert from the district's emergency system. Just static, no message, time-stamped around the same hour it all started. Every time it happens, I check the number, delete it, and tell myself it's some glitch in their notification server. And every time, a little voice at the back of my mind whispers the same thing, soft as breath against glass. "You left the door open." The end.
Oh my god, that was actually really good.
It was good, but it was long.
It was long, but it was better than the previous 2.
Yeah.
Scary stuff in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how the, what's it called? The Calvin wasn't, like, threatening. He was scary, but, like, not in the usual way.
Yeah.
I like how he was, well, somewhat gentle, but obviously,
Just creepy.
he was just creepy, yeah. Oh my god. Right, game time, because we are 2 hours and something minutes.
I think it's working.
We can test anyway. 2 hours and 6 minutes into this podcast, so we'll see. Try and do 1 round if we can, if the game works.
So, basically, you start from these doors, and then you need to try and get to the other doors where one of them is open, but it's like a maze. Like, all these doors lead to different rooms, and they all look the same, and then you need to try and not die.
Okay.
Basically.
Sounds easy.
So,
Alright, Tim.
who would like to go first?
I'll go first, but
Okay. So me and Bloodstorm will run in, so if we die, we're out.
alright. Do I go on the other side?
So we don't need swords. Yeah.
Alright. I think we might have time for 1 round because that story was quite long, but it was a good one, so it was worth it. What about these doors at the back? Do I
Oh no, I've got a button to select which one, so it's all random. Is one of them opened?
No.
Okay, let me press it again.
Nope. Oh joys.
To the left side.
Oh joys, redstone issues.
Let me make sure this is all working.
That's what we love to see. Redstone problems.
It should be working.
Just need to escape.
Let's press the button. Yeah, basically. I'm trying not to die.
Suicidal.
There we
Suicide.
go.
Right,
Has one opened?
Nope.
They should open.
I'm staring very intensely at the doors and none of them have opened.
Don't press the button.
Press the button, ho.
What about the...
I know why. There's no minecart.
Oh, you bloody retard.
Oh bloody hell.
Oh well, at least that was the problem and not my redstone. Right.
Nah, still counts as redstone.
Let me just double check that this is working. Oh, I haven't put a... Oh no, I have. Okay, well, I'm coming back up.
Ooh.
There you go, let me know if one's opened.
Not opened yet.
Should do.
Oh no. We have more broken games to stamp here at this rate. Let me in. Let me.
Minecart, okay. Maybe it was just the timing was wrong.
I'm gonna be like the guy in the story. Calvin, let me in. Let me in. Oh,
One of them should open.
there you go. One's open.
Okay, so you can enter and you can just wait wherever you want.
Okay.
And then we can pick a door. It's so dark in there. Oh yeah, let's probably sleep.
I haven't got a bed back here.
That's alright. Right, are we all ready?
Y'all.
Right, 3, to. Oh yeah, we got food as well. Hey, oh, yes. Right, 3, 2, 1. Oh no, I'm putting these on. Go.
I'm trying to turn name tags off as well before I forget.
Okay.
There you
Right,
go.
we're coming through.
Money.
I see it's bar, I think. Was that yours? Both of yours?
Oh. One of you's crouched. Oh god, there's mobs in here.
Oh, that's how the game should be. We're all crouched with Swifts.
I can't even open the doors with being crouched.
Should be able to.
No. Nope.
That scared me. See his bar. Don't hold an item, Callum. That's how it usually works.
There we go. Money.
Oh, Fox.
Hello.
Money.
This bar popped up anywhere. No, it's crouched.
Yeah. Suck my nuts.
Oh, it's not that one.
He's in there.
Don't get past me. Yes. I bought some
You could probably
horrible.
bring that one.
money. Come here, motherfucker.
Oh, you've just fallen camping.
No, I have been looking around. I have genuinely been looking around the place.
We should do another one, that was too quick.
Alright, I'll
I think we need Swift Sneak this time. That'll be something cool to have.
I think one of you guys should I want to go in the game. I want to go in.
I'll go. Well, let me press that.
Yeah, ho. Let him cook.
What it is, oh.
What it is, ho. Get in there, ho.
He's gonna do the exact same can. Make sure you
I'm
crouch at the start.
Right, so the door is open, so I'm gonna go in.
Let's go. Dun 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 dun.
The cafe is located by right in front of where I am, I think. Callum, close the doors.
Man, shut your dumb ass. I
I
can't
used
see.
to close the doors so I don't know.
Okay, this is actually. Oh shit, there's a zombie in here. Fuck me. Piss off.
Why is there a zombie in here?
I'm gonna. I can't even. I'm trying to take them out, but I haven't got. I'm trying to get the sword out. Oh no, I'm gonna die.
The bees have been opened.
I'm gonna die. Oh no.
No, hang on.
Well, that didn't go well.
Oh, fuck that zombie.
I got bummed by a zombie, and then Foxy showed up. Not,
What for being peaceful?
not a good twist.
Right, should we do one more? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's too quick.
yeah. Let's do one more. Put some. Your turn.
One to go.
Yeah, your turn. Put some.
This skin. This skin thing.
Bow, bow, bow. Yeah, I actually like this game. It's been fun.
Right, let's let us know when you're ready.
Yeah, in a second. I'll just find this skin.
Oh,
Everyone.
faster. Get back to work. Come on.
Perfect.
Slow, bitch. Right, let's go. Dun dun dun.
Hang on, wait, I'm not in.
Bloody hell, over your butt, some you monkey.
Right, I'm ready.
Good.
Do you want me to? Let me change the doors.
Oh, you might want to change the door. Right, what? None of them are open.
Yeah, let me press it again.
Oh no. I don't think I was meant to be.
No, none of them. You should left all the doors open, Callum. I can see where you are.
Shit. There we go. Meow. There you go.
No, none are open again.
It should be. Maybe I'm just getting really unlucky.
Yeah, there's one open at the end.
Oh, maybe that one's gone now.
Oh, piss. Oh.
Okay, right. I think we're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Commence.
Charge.
Today.
You're getting touched today. Oh, fucking hell. Fuck me.
Oh, fuck.
Your bar, Callum.
I could
What are you running in a straight line for?
because your mum likes going. Oh, fuck me.
I'm gonna follow your bar.
I'm gonna follow your mum. I don't know. Come on. On the fucking go. Oh, Bloodstorm, fuck off. Bloodstorm, you monkey.
Yeah, you left all the doors open, Callum, so I saw where you were.
Scared the shit out of me, this sort of woman. No, I didn't think that'd be a
Okay. It was the fourth one, so the one almost at the end on the far right.
It was the woman. It was the woman. Oh my god. But yeah, I enjoyed that game.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad.
But yeah, that's going to be the end of our Halloween special podcast. I really hope you did enjoy those 3 stories. And yeah, and the game as well. Next week we'll be back to normal. I swear we've had like 4 special occasions in like the last 5 videos.
I think so.
Because we had Greg's special episode, we've had your birthday one, we had Coronation Street, we've had this one as well. And yes,
Don't forget Coronation Street.
yeah, don't worry, I mentioned that one.
Good.
So we had Greg's episode, your episode, Coronation Street, and now this episode. We've had like 4 special episodes in like 5 podcasts. So next week we can go back to normal, where we'll be talking bollocks properly instead of just talking about the stories. But yeah, I hope thank you Foxy and Bloodstorm for joining.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, like I said, next week we'll be back to normal, talking our usual rubbish. If that sounds appealing to you, hope you tune back to watch that. But thank you so much for listening, everybody, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Bye, guys.